special day it is. It is a finally fantastic, maybe just a little freaky Friday. That means my partner in crime, my co-host this morning is Holly Thompson with Salem Crossing. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning. It's
Yay.
Friday.
Friday and Fry rain.
Oh my goodness.
The sea was angry, my friend.
I'm not going to complain about the rain though.
No.
We're
going to sing in it, dance in it.
That's right.
Jump in big puddles around.
That's right. Let's go barefoot and just jump on the puddles like we're little kids again.
I love that.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Best day ever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially in the grass, the puddles in the grass.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's softer.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of out in the parking lot. Let's go do it.
Let's do this. Let's just take these microphones head on out. We'll do a live remote outside, okay?
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah, I can hear the downpour of the rain. That is not sound effects that I'm adding. That is nature at its best. But
cleansing.
Cleansing.
Good
Ooh,
cleansing.
I do love a good cleansing.
Yeah.
There's nothing like playing in the rain.
You
know, nothing.
Takes
like
you back to childhood.
I know.
Who doesn't love those memories?
I know.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Playing in the puddles and in the creeks and everything.
Yeah. And sometimes it could be an accident. Like all of a sudden, here's where I'm at. Like my hair. Okay, I'm gonna just be honest. You know, the hair, right? you know, you really try. You just struggle. You know, maybe you curled it. Maybe you've done stuff to it. You know, you've prepared it, and then you walk out and it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then sometimes though, sometimes I'm just like, forget it. You know, I give it up. You know what I mean? Why am I fighting it?
Mm-hmm.
And just get in there and get all wet and just run and play and have a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
That's when you realize
life's too short.
Yeah, and I'm not winning at this. I'm not. Rain has got it. You know what I mean? So let's just go ahead. Let's go all the way and just have fun.
Yeah.
Know? So it's a good time. I do want to say the clouds look a little angry out there, though. They do look a little rolling, and we have to be careful with lightning.
Yes.
How dangerous it is.
Yes.
And Holly, I'm not an expert. Don't play one on TV on this. But they say if you are in a area and you cannot seek shelter, okay, you can stand on your tippy toes. Promise.
Huh.
And it will help protect against lightning. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the tippy toes?
Well, I guess because you're not completely, the whole foot's not touched down. I don't know. Listen to me. I don't know why. I don't. Okay.
Well, because you're still making contact with the ground.
I know.
And really, if you're in contact with the ground, it's going to go straight into the ground, whether you're on your toes or.
I know.
I
don't know. Right? I know. I need to do my research, but I think they said stand on your tippy toes the best you can, and kind of in a. I know this is sounding really weird, but kind of crouch down. Am I saying?
Yeah, crouch down.
Yeah. Words I'm not setting. Crouch down on your tippy toes, and you're going to be safe. Okay, or at least you're going to be very entertaining to everyone around. Okay, what are you doing over there?
I was going to say I want to watch the video.
I would love for Holly to say, Becky, what in the world are you doing over there? I'm not getting struck by lightning. You know what I mean? Best thing is find shelter.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we learned how dangerous. I don't think for years. Okay, I've not really been that scared of lightning. Are you? Is that something that really has made you?
I find lightning beautiful.
Oh, I know. It is.
It is very pretty. I mean, I know it's
especially when it's in the distance.
But yes.
Like watching a lightning show.
Well, and I was in an airplane one time above a huge storm. And oh my gosh, the lightning in those, it was like spider webs in those clouds, and it was just beautiful. Nature at its finest with beauty, you know. So I don't mind lightning so much. I think mine comes more with wind. That's where my fears come.
The wind, because
the tornadoes, and plus I've also, at my house, I've also had straight line wind damage also, that just plucked down trees, big huge trees, one after the one, just from the straight lines. It was like a hurricane that had come into Texas, and so we got the straight line winds from that. Right. So wind is probably a little bit scarier for me.
Well, in straight line winds, I mean, a lot of times people dismiss that. They are very dangerous.
Very dangerous, because I didn't know. You know, they say to take shelter or whatever, but the way this wind was and the way the trees were coming down, just one after the other, I didn't know if it was safer to be outside where I could see what was coming down and try to dodge it, or be inside the house and take the chance of one falling on the house
Yeah.
and not knowing that it's coming, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little scary.
Well, and you never know. I mean, and
No.
a person making those decisions,
Mhm.
like as a parent,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, or like authority or something, and you're trying to, okay, and I always go back to like the Henryville.
Mhm.
I mean, it had to be a God thing that they made that choice.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I just, because you could see where they could have gone the other route.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it just, and you know, and I think that's the scariest part is what choice do you make? Which way do you go? You know, which do you choose? Years ago, they used to say, get out of your vehicle, get in the gutter, and try to lay in like a gutter or an area. And now they kind of say, stay in your vehicle. You know, so that some of the they've learned, but still, you've seen where sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad to do. You know.
I could probably be a storm chaser because I like seeing things like from the distance. Because again, nature is beautiful. Even at its most horrific, nature is beautiful.
Yeah.
The damage it causes isn't, but it is pretty. But yeah, you're right. It's a God thing when things go good and not as bad as they could be. It's a God thing.
Yeah, and when someone in the authority makes that decision and makes the right decision.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, and those are big decisions to be making. You
Yes.
know, and I think that's I think that's something that I think for years I didn't realize. I mean, I always I'm kind of like you. I really like to watch it. I think it's beautiful. I didn't realize how much danger. And I had a friend, and she was like completely just really, really, really scared of lightning. And I always kind of thought, oh, that's it's kind of sad too. You know, but I think she had wisdom on that. She realized the danger that it can do.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's something.
And the thunder rolls. I can hear it.
And the lightning strikes. Yes. I was trying to think of, I'm the thunder before the lightning. What is that?
I like that, yeah.
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 Something like that. So, Holly, it is Friday. We're going to be talking with Matt Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts very shortly. That's exciting, but we need to thank our sponsors this morning.
We would like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Purley Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and McAllister Land Consulting. Thank you, sponsors.
Yes, absolutely. Very grateful for them. And I do want to say this rain, brings on again, which I'm over the moon. My flowers, my garden, everybody's garden, your pond, everything is isn't it just fantastic?
It is. We need the rain. We really do. I don't want any damage, but we need the rain.
No damage, just rain.
That's right.
All right, we're on to the 16th day of August. Today is National Airborne Day, and it shows all of the military planes up in the air. Love that. Love that. We love it when they do flyovers, Of course, remember on Top Gun, remember when they did the flyover, remember all
Top Gun. I love Top Gun.
I know.
I love
remember whenever
it was such a feel-good movie, and by the end
I got the need for speed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Love that show.
Me too. National Bratwurst Day. With a big mustard.
Smoky, cheesy bratwurst.
Ooh, hang on. Let's put some sauerkraut on that.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
National Kool-Aid Day. Hey, Kool-Aid.
What's your favorite flavor?
Cherry.
Cherry?
Or grape.
Mine growing up was strawberry.
Oh.
Strawberry was my favorite growing up. Grape was second, but now is probably cherry.
Yeah.
As my favorite.
The reason I like cherry is because I was little and that would make my looks like I had lipstick on.
Yes, yes, yes.
It was the closest I could get to lipstick.
But the lime flavor is really good too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not even mad about any of that. Yeah,
no.
I would. But there's nothing like. Okay, let's go back to Bible school when I was growing up. There was nothing like having. They would take you'd get 2 cookies and they would roll them up in a napkin, and then you'd have a big cup of Kool-Aid. Best day ever. I mean, the two
was
together.
A staple when we were growing up.
I know.
It was. I mean, we always had a big pitcher, usually of Kool-Aid, in the refrigerator. Because we didn't do a lot of soft drinks back then. It was. Milk, water, tea, lemonade, Kool-Aid. It was like those kind of drinks or whatever. And, we really didn't even have the little packages of the Kool-Aids and juices that they have now. the Capri Suns and things. I used to always buy those for my daughters when they were younger. You have it on the go. You got something from to drink, put it in the bag.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah, Kool-Aid, I mean, like, I remember many years ago, one time talking with Dr. Apple, and he said, if you knew how many babies in Washington County was raised on Kool-Aid.
I bet. I bet. Probably not best for the teeth or the health, but
yeah, but it's true. All right, National Men's Grooming Day. Men's grooming. I'm all for a man grooming himself. Take care of himself.
Take care of himself.
Grooming.
Use that good cologne.
I keep thinking of two silverback gorillas grooming themselves. Sorry. In my head, I was thinking of grooming. You know how like gorillas groom each other?
Yes.
And I'm thinking, but this is National Men's Grooming Day. I love when a man takes care of himself.
Takes care of himself and
grooming.
Again has that nice cologne on.
Oh, get out of here.
I mean, nothing better.
There's just like
nice smelling cologne.
Yes, and it's funny, like when you're out somewhere and all of a sudden somebody will go by you, you know what I mean, or walk by you, and you'll get that, get that smell, and you're like, whoa. And you want
to stop and ask them, what are you wearing? And like, no, Holly, like that's probably not okay to do.
No, here's what I do. Here's what I've got it figured out, because you don't want, like, for the wife,
right? You
don't want to do. So I always say, what's that smell for? I would like to get some for my husband.
Yes.
Make sure that you bring that you have a husband.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, because you're like, I want to buy some of that so my husband can wear it because it smells really good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So that usually goes okay.
So well-groomed man has to have some good cologne.
Yeah, and it shows, like, I'm gonna guess, like, for if you have a beard or a mustache or something like that, taking care of yourself, hair and all of that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Men's Grooming Day. Yeah. So go get groomed.
Go get groomed.
Well, we groom our dogs.
But not at the Louisville Zoo.
No.
Not with the gorillas.
Well, right. I mean, you know how, like, they sit there and groom each other.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Yeah, I totally get it.
I
totally get it.
Not even mad about it.
At least they're grooming themselves.
That's exactly
and trying
right.
to keep
Taking
themselves
care of themselves. Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. National Roller Coaster Day. What's your favorite roller coaster?
None.
You don't like roller coasters? Holly, the little thrill seeker. You'll watch any scary movie that comes out.
But listen, when I was very young.
That Hollywood would make. Hollywood.
When I was very, very young, Kings Island probably wasn't that old, right? And so me and my parents went with a bunch of their friends to Kings Island. And pretty much the blue racer, like that was the big one when I was that age, was the racer, right? And they had like the blue car and the red car, and they raced each other, right?
They go backwards.
And yes. Well, so my dad and two of his friends, and all of them were big guys, okay? Well, my dad and one of his friends wanted to sit in the front seat, the very first car, which put me and his other friend in the second car. Now, I'm very tiny, like I'm probably only 5, maybe 5, and here's this big burly, well-groomed man,
Well-groomed man, I love that.
Like he physically had to hold me because the bar, when it hit him, wouldn't come to me.
Oh, ooh,
so he physically had to hold me.
I can see that.
And when we're going down, like I wanted to go up, like my body was wanting to go up. So he's physically holding me in my seat in the second car, and I'm like, no, we got to go because that call, right? Okay.
We're gonna come. No, put a pin in that. We're gonna come back to that. And good morning. We have Matt Taylor from the Indianapolis Colts with us. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Great. Of course, this is Becky. I also have my co-host this morning is Holly, and we are actually in the middle of a storm going on outside. From the roll of thunder to the lightning, we can hear it all here in the studio.
Yeah, we got rain last night at Colts camp. Last day of Colts camp, it got a little bit wet. It's a little bit wet here in Indianapolis as well. So whatever's going through is kind of widespread so far here in the state.
Right, exactly. So we were just talking, though, we really needed the rain, and we needed some, some of that for our gardens, for our farmers, and for our flowers. So it's not a bad thing.
No, not at all, not at all. And that's why you play inside in the dome stadium with the group. So tomorrow you're going to play regardless.
Exactly, on new turf, right?
Absolutely. The new turf looks sharp. It's crisp. It's bright. It's really, really good.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. We're going to talk about that, but let's real quick. I want to go back because you opened up a new door about the Colts training camp. Tell us a little bit about that and how long has that been going on? And I've actually a few years ago got to come visit that, and it's a workout they do.
Yeah, absolutely. They do it every year. In fact, the Colts are one of the last few teams in the NFL that still do that still prioritize, going off site and having training camp in a different place other than where they train, and being in front of the fans. And it's up at Graham Park in Westfield, Indiana. Graham Park is a really big state-of-the-art youth athletics complex. They've got just seemingly 1 million baseball fields and soccer fields. They've got indoor football fields and soccer fields. So you name it. Basically, if your kids are into travel sports in a serious nature, you've probably heard of Graham Park or been to Graham Park. But that's where the Colts train, and it allows for spacious ways for fans to come in and watch the Colts practice. They've got 2 fields that butt up to one another there at Graham Park, and about 200 yards of grandstands where people can come in. And unfortunately, it just wrapped up. Last night was the last day of training camp, so they had 12 practices up there in Westfield. And last night and the night before, they had joint practices with the Arizona Cardinals, who they're going to play coming up on Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium in the second preseason game. But I want to say there were between 3,000 and 4,000 fans both nights up there. So it was a really, really cool way to kind of culminate training camp. And it's, again, a great way for fans that either can't get to a game or, their schedule conflicts, to get into Lucas Oil Stadium. It's a great way to see their favorite players up close and in person, get some autographs, and just kind of take in Colts football in terms of what it's all about leading into the season.
Yeah, I think that's great, and it gives opportunities maybe, and especially for little ones too, that always wants to go to a game or be a part. Yeah, and it kind of gets you a little more familiar with the team too. And I think when you know the players, you get to know the players. It's more exciting when you watch the game, when you go to the game.
No, 100%. And it's great too. Sometimes we get locked into this job, and sometimes it feels like work, and sometimes you forget. Just going to a training camp practice, you get there an hour and a half early before practice starts, and there's people lined up just decked out in Colts gear, and you see fathers and sons, and you see families there, and you forget, this is people's entertainment. This is their passion. This is their escape, kind of from the real world. This is something for them to be, fans of. And sometimes it's a good reality check for someone like me that gets caught up in it, and you get kind of lost in the minutia of the job, and then you realize your job is to enhance other people's passion for what they're interested in. And so training camp is always one of my favorite times of the year, and I'm really kind of disappointed that it's over. It seemed like it went in a blink of an eye this year, but the regular season will be here before you know it, and for that we can all really get really excited about.
Absolutely. This past Sunday, I got a chance to get up there and see the preseason and with the Broncos, and that was packed. That was. It was like so many came out for this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Listen, you only get 9 of them a year, and whether it's a preseason game or a regular season game, I think Colts fans, they know the routine. You got the tailgaters out there, and you got the people that show up early. It's just part of what you do as football fans. So yeah, it's just really exciting. And you got another one coming up tomorrow, and that's a night game. Then you got that third preseason game on Thursday. So the reality of it is the Colts. The juicy part of their off-season schedule going into the regular season is right now. They had, going back to last Sunday against Denver, you're going to have 3 preseason games and 3 joint practices in a span of 11 days. And then you're going to make roster cuts coming up on the 27th. And then it's, obviously going to be, full steam ahead to that first game of the regular season against the Texans, which is going to mean so much just because they won the division last year. They were the team that knocked the Colts out of the playoffs there in Week 18. Plus it's an AFC South game right out of the chute. So really, really important stuff happening right now as we speak. And, I thought last night and the night before against the Cardinals, the Colts took some really important steps to get better. But the offense was really, really efficient. And then defensively last night, the Colts and the Cardinals repped some 2-minute end-of-game situations, some red zone scenarios. And I thought the Colts thrived on both sides of the ball. So really, really good to see.
Love that. Well, we're going to send some lucky listeners up Saturday to the game, and this is a cool story. And kind of going back, I feel like I'm popcorn this morning, Matt. I'm going to be all over the page, so just hang with me. But I thought this was so cool is when she got the tickets, or when I said the tickets, she said that the lady that she's taking with her, her husband was a huge Colts fan, and I don't think he ever got to a game, but she's going to wear his jersey that he would wear all the time when he would be listening to the Colts. No, this is like a cool story, and like she's just over the moon, can't wait to go. And that's what I love, when we can send hometown people or people around us in our area. She's not exactly from here, but when we can send them up to a game that maybe they've never had a chance to go, or something that really means how valuable that is. I had no idea of that story. But when she got the tickets, she said, you don't know how much this means to me. And then she told, and I'm just like, isn't that awesome?
Yeah, I love stories like that. And I really appreciate, those kinds of things. Because, again, it goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, this is just what people get lost in. And I really, really appreciate that. And with my job, it's my job to enhance people's enjoyment of the game day experience. That's my goal anyways. Right. And I'm there to storytell and to bring the game to life. Yes. But this is something, you think about the NFL, what is so unique about the NFL compared to other sports is you used to have 16, but now you have 17. There's only 17 games. The games mean so much, and you only play once a week. So when you talk about build-up and hype and anticipation, the NFL has that on every other league, by far and away. And, one NFL game, somebody did the math a couple of years ago, one NFL game equates to like 10 or 12 Major League Baseball games in terms of significance and ramifications. And when you're talking about this team this year for the Colts, I mean, the AFC is so loaded. I know I'm getting more into the football talk right now, but got the entire AFC conference that's just absolutely loaded with good offenses and good quarterbacks. I mean, right now there's 16 teams in the conference, and I don't know if there's a couple of teams right now where you cross off going to the season saying this team's not a contender, at least on paper, to make some noise and compete for a playoff spot. So again, that's not to discourage Colts fans at all from rooting for their team. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I just know that every game is going to mean so much. Every game is going to feel like a playoff game. It's going to feel like a Super Bowl to a degree because of just how much they mean. And so when you hear stories like that where fans get to go to a game for the first time, but the game that they're going to is going to be really, really important inherently, I mean, that's just really fun to hear about those kinds of things. And, I definitely have pinch-me moments before every game because Lucas Oil Stadium is such a great place to watch a game and call a game, and the crowd is so great. It's just really, really fun to be a part of that every Sunday, and I try not to take that for granted when I hear stories like that where fans come and they get to see the stadium for the first time, and they get to witness what it's like to see a game day with the Jumbotron and the music and the fireworks and the players running out of the tunnel. It's truly an experience, and I love for people to be able to really appreciate that, and I know that I do. So really excited for those in your community that are able to come up. Yeah,
it's so much fun, and that's something we talked about. I feel like when you come to a Colts game, you're involved. I mean, everybody's involved. You know what I mean? When you're sitting in the chairs, you're still involved. I mean, when when confetti's coming from the ceiling, when Blue's dancing around you, you know what I mean? When the music, the kiss cam, all of the different, the dance offs. I mean, there's so many activities. There's so much fun. The game goes by so fast. I mean, you can't even hardly finish your popcorn by the time it's done.
Yeah, the game presentation is really, really good, you know, and unfortunately for me, I don't have time to pay attention to
Oh, Matt, you're missing
all of it.
You are missing it.
Yeah.
That is
Right.
so sad for you because I've got to tell you the funniest thing, and I've talked about it. I can't stop talking about it. Somebody was on their game. Okay, there was a call that was actually being questioned. Okay, so they were reviewing it, and the whole time they were reviewing it, Phil Collins, there must be some misunderstanding. There must be some
right.
kind of mistake. So my husband is
got
saying,
everything timed up. They've thought about every scenario, right,
Oh.
for the right buttons to push for every part of the game.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, they spent all off season thinking about those kinds of things, believe it or not.
So my husband was sitting there and like he wasn't getting it. And so I was like, are you not understanding they're playing Phil Collins because they are reviewing the tape? And I'm like, and then we both just, and then he got it and he was laughing at it. And I was like, I love that sense of humor. And you guys,
Right.
you're just, and it's silly and it's one of those things just like we talked about, how entertaining, you know? It's just, and I know we're there for the game. We want the win. We got that. But it's also the atmosphere and it's bringing everybody together. You know what I mean? And you sit by people that like, you know, you don't know, but everybody, we're all in one accord. You know what I mean? Everybody's there
Right.
for the same team, you know. And then, you know, I mean, the Colts were down, and it was just like a few minutes left, and there was this little group of girls. They were just little bitty, and they were, let's go Colts, come on. You know? And I was like, I love that spirit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I thought that's exactly the spirit to have. You know what I mean? I felt like, yes, Virginia, there is Santa Claus. You know what I mean?
No, it's special, and I think what also is special too, and I don't think this should be lost on. You know, this is kind of getting bigger picture, but the fact that, you know, Lucas Oil Stadium is downtown, right? It's downtown Indianapolis. It's centrally located, and it's easy to park. It's easy to get around. And I think once you're in the stadium, you know, everything's clearly marked. It's clean. The concourses are wide, and you know, all the bars and the restaurants downtown Indianapolis. It just feels like when the Colts are in town, it just takes over the city, right? It just takes over the entire downtown landscape. And everybody does feel like they're kind of one because everybody's wearing a blue T-shirt or a jersey, or they got their Colts gear on. I mean, it truly takes over the city, unlike some other places, especially those cities or those teams that play out in the suburbs because they don't have room downtown, or they didn't plan accordingly, you know, with their government to be able to put a stadium, you know, downtown with all the commerce and be able to take advantage of that. So it's everything they've done in the last, you know, 3-4 decades since they moved to town has just been perfect. Yeah. And Lucas Oil Stadium still holds up as one of the best stadiums in the NFL.
Right. I think so. And I do want to talk about. So we got some new turf, got some new looks, and that's only even better and better and better. And this is a little safer turf too than in the past.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, the Colts turf is, you know, the old stuff was time to go. Mm-hmm. But you know, you have to play those things out. You've got you know, other things inside the facility that go into it too. So not to get too complex, but you know, once the swimming championships were over, those Olympic trials.
Yeah, what an honor! That was. Yeah. That's a whole nother call in, Matt, because that's
absolutely
what an honor to host the Olympics swimming right here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Right. Yeah. So as soon as those were over, then it was full steam ahead on putting in the new turf. And if you've noticed, that not only is it brand new turf and the most up-to-date safe technology as far as that goes, but they've also changed some of the fonts in the end zones to match the new Colts. You know, whatever they call those things nowadays in the graphic world, they call them the new word marks. But you've got new Indianapolis and the word Colts in the end zones and the new up-to-date word marks for the team.
Yeah, looking really, really good, really good. And of course, like you said, you can open the dome or you can close the dome. So I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
Regardless, they play, right? Regardless, they play. So we're still checking on the weather for tomorrow. I don't know if rain's in the forecast tomorrow, but I know they're going to get 4 quarters in.
Yeah, for sure. And Matt, let's go back real quick. I should have, popping all around here, but let's go back and tell a little bit about, because you've been with the Colts since 2012. 2012, I think. Is that right? Or am I right on that? I was trying to think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
All right. And talk about, like, you started your start with them and then to today.
Yeah, it started in 2012, and was hired to manage everything and kind of be behind the scenes, host pregame shows and postgame shows, produce everything, handle the network. And then, the longer I've been there, obviously just kind of climbed up the ladder, kind of like that good old American story, if you will, and taking on more responsibility, showing more versatility. And so, now, before I was doing everything but call the game on radio, and now calling the game on radio and, kind of overseeing everything else. So very much a jack of all trades position. I kind of like to say and joke that, my fingerprints are all on everything. My DNA is on everything that you hear coming out of your speakers during a Colts game on radio. So you gotta juggle a lot. You gotta know the team inside and out, but you also have to know everything behind the scenes inside and out. So it definitely keeps you busy. It definitely keeps you on your toes. No day is different, which is good. But it's between July and February, you know what you're doing. It's 7 days a week for 6-7 months.
Yeah. Well, isn't that cool that the Colts family saw that in you, and and that you got to move up and and be in this job that it's the ultimate. What a cool job to have, but they saw that potential in you, and because you've been very faithful for them, and you and I have worked together for years.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, it's one of those things I don't take it for granted. And again, I go back to what I said earlier. Every home game, really every game, but especially at home when they bring out that giant American flag and the entire field, and you got the national anthem and 65,000 fans standing up, getting ready for a National Football League game. I definitely have a pinch myself moment. It's not lost on me the fact that I'm able to call NFL games for the team that I grew up watching, because I'm from here. I'm from the south side of Indianapolis. And so to be able to kind of live out that dream I had for myself when I was 10 years old, but to be able to do it where I'm from, that's kind of a 1 in a million chance. And I don't take it for granted. I certainly appreciate it every day.
Absolutely. Well, and they're very blessed to have you, and and someone so dedicated, and obviously they're very wise to realize that and to see your value, and then bring you up the up the ladder here. But they do so much. I feel like we've got so much to cover because we haven't talked in a while. But the actual the Colts actually do so many great things for Indianapolis and surrounding, and for the host state. The different things they do, their campaigns on helping people better themselves, to maybe substance abuse, to helping stepping out. There's so many different platforms and so many different causes that the Colts get involved in.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The community relations department, they're busier than any other department, I think, in the entire company, because they accommodate and they do a really good job of handling all the requests that they get. And there's many, but they do the best job they can to be able to be great representatives of Indianapolis and be great stewards for the city. And also kind of what you're alluding to, the Colts have this initiative called Kicking the Stigma.
Yeah.
The Ursays founded that. Yeah. I think it goes back to around COVID time in 2020 when it really got off the ground. But, it's an unbelievable initiative, and just to see how much it's grown in the last 3 or 4 years, it's just astonishing in a great way. The impact that they've had, the amount of people they've reached, the lives that they have changed. It's all about mental health, and it's about reaching out to people and people admitting to themselves and others that it's okay not to be okay, right? Yeah. We all go through stuff. We all have our things, and the Ursay family has been really, really good about raising money and contributing to other initiatives similar to theirs. Just story after story of people that have been helped by this, because oftentimes we think, especially in football, which the Colts are most closely tied to, you think about strength, and you think about you got to have great nutrition, and you got to take care of your body. Well, you also have to take care of yourself in terms of the mental side of things. Your brain your brain is a muscle too, and your mental health is just as important as your physical health, and your overall, well-being. So, they do a really good job of appreciating that, and they encourage people to be open and to talk and have discussions. So that part's been really, really kind of eye-opening for me, just because, it's something that I really didn't think about until things were, open to me, and the dialogue came to me in a different way. So it's been really, really fascinating to watch.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily want to, we've got so many areas we could cover here this morning, but I do want to touch on, because that just, talks one more great thing, and one more that they do, and how much they give back. Not only, they're the Indianapolis Colts, and and you come to the games, and if you don't win tickets to the game, you can purchase tickets to the game, and also I know a lot of people do it for birthdays or anniversaries or just because and stuff, which is great. But I wanted to explain also how the Indianapolis Colts, also their family gives back and what they do for the communities. And I thought that campaign was wonderful, and I was there when they unveiled it, and actually heard them talking, and it was just like, it was just so open for them, and I love that so much. So I kind of want to show where they give back so much. And actually Lucas Oil Stadium is used just like for the Olympics, but used for also so many other events. It's such a blessing for Indianapolis to host and to have these events there.
I mean, you look about what Indianapolis has been able to pull off in the last 4 years. You've got national championship games. You've got Big Ten tournaments. You have, women's and men's basketball. You've got Final Fours. You've got NBA All-Star games. Now you have the WNBA All-Star game. You have the Indy 500 every single year. It's just amazing. And then you go back to 2012, the Super Bowl. I mean, I remember as a kid, and this is a true story, like I remember my dad would my dad and I, this is going to sound cheesy, but my dad and I, we would have what we called downtown day, and we would just go downtown, have lunch, and walk around, and he'd take me to the zoo or the children's museum. And being the big sports fans that we were, we would always kind of just walk around the Hoosier Dome. And I remember asking my dad, like, Dad, do you think the Super Bowl will ever come to Indianapolis? And he just kind of laughed. And to be able to live through that, just as a person in the media back in 2012, I mean, it was just amazing, the transformation of the city. And so, it's Lucas Oil Stadium, the Convention Center, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the Colts and the Pacers, Visit Indy, the Indiana Sports Corp with, their initiatives, bringing the swimming trials to Indianapolis. It's just amazing how lucky we are. We had an entire NCAA tournament in Indianapolis. Think about that. The entire tournament was here. I mean, what other city could pull that off? So it just goes to the cohesion and the buy-in that all the big players in town have to cooperate together to bring big things to the fans and the citizens here.
Right. No, I agree. And that's what I've always said. I don't know how, but they always pull it off. They always do it. It always is done, and it's done well.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yep.
What about
absolutely?
Let's find your personal, Matt. How do you prepare before a game? What's kind of your, I guess, a little bit of a routine? How do you get ready for a game?
Oh gosh, well, I mean, that's certainly a loaded question. The answer is a lot of preparation. I feel like, if you're not prepared, it's that old Vince Lombardi line, right? If failure to prepare is preparing to fail. So it is studying, it is memorizing, it is organizing, it is charting. There's not enough prep, in my opinion, to get ready for an NFL game, because you never know what's going to happen. But the reality is, you only end up using about 5 or 10% of what you're prepared for, which is kind of demoralizing. But at the same time, the game dictates what the information is that you give to the audience throughout the course of the game. Obviously, you're always going to talk about the big players, the guys on the outside that catch the passes, or the pass rushers that get to the quarterback. You're always going to talk about those guys. You're always going to kind of set up the big storylines. But I tell you what's really rewarding, and the payoff is when you have something researched and you think it's going to help enlighten the audience and it's going to help bring the game to life, and then it actually happens. It's kind of small, it's detailed, it's nuanced, but but when it actually comes to fruition and you're prepared for it and you have it in your notes and you can get to it in a really timely fashion, actually when it's most applicable, like that's when you feel like internally, as a big dork play-by-play guy, like that's when you feel like you've hit a home run. So you just try to get ready for those types of moments every single Sunday. But it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun, right? I'm not working a real job. I'm not digging ditches. I'm not working a jackhammer. I'm studying about football. So life is pretty good. Even the bad days are great days. There's no doubt about that.
Now, on a personal note, you might not want to answer, do you play fantasy football?
You know what? Two things. I don't play fantasy football because I've never really gotten into it. And secondly, I'm not allowed to play fantasy football because that kind of falls into the gambling umbrella, and I'm not allowed to gamble on the NFL.
Okay, I see. That makes sense. Well, I was going to say, because you know it all.
Yeah.
That would make sense, yes. Well, I've tried it, and let's just say that my career is not good in that, okay? I'm not, yeah. But anyway, yeah, my team, when they give, like, the listing of the each week, where the stats are, when you see Becky White on the very bottom, you know what I mean? Yeah, I know. It's not because it's alphabetic,
Yeah, anyway. I still get phone calls and texts and emails about, from friends and family. They say, what's the status of this guy? That's when I have to politely decline.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't. But yeah.
Right.
I love that. Well, yeah, because I didn't even think about that might be I might text you, hey Matt, who should I? No, I won't do it. I'm not doing it.
You might be on your own for that one.
That's the way everybody made me on that. You're on your own.
Yeah.
I picked years ago. When he first started, I picked Cole Beasley, and I remember everybody was like, who? And he did see him and his mother and I said we're the only two that were really huge fans of his. But anyway, okay, going back with the Colts. So we got a big season, and we got two more. Or we just did the one preseason. We got another preseason game this coming Saturday, and another one on Thursday, and then we're kicking off to the regular season. Correct?
That's correct. Yep. Thursday wraps up the preseason in Cincinnati. There'll be a joint practice between the Colts and the Bengals on Tuesday of this week. So spend a couple of days down there in the Queen City. So that'll be good. And then, you'll have roster cuts on the 27th. You have to go from 90 guys down to 53, pare the roster down, get ready for the regular season. Then, it's a chance to get off to hopefully a good start, right? You got 3 of your first 4 games at home. But you got some good quarterbacks and some good offenses in the first month of the year, too, in September. So that part's going to be exciting to see how it unfolds. But hopefully you're talking about a Week 1 win against the Texans for a variety of reasons. But, maybe the biggest one that I'm eager to hopefully, get out of your lexicon, if you will, is, the fact that the Colts have not won a Week 1 opening day game since 2013, right? They haven't won their first game of the season in over a decade. So really looking forward to hopefully erasing, that stat from my brain.
I love that. Yes, I love that. Yes. Well, that's a good goal and a good challenge. I love that. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
For sure. And any injuries that you might be a little worried about for any of the players so far?
Right now, they've got their starting slot receiver, Josh Downs, dealing with a high ankle sprain. He went down with that last week in practice and training camp. So they're optimistic he can come back for the start of the regular season. But anytime you're talking about a high ankle, that's at least a couple of weeks. So it's kind of a little bit of a blessing in disguise that it happened when it did. Mm-hmm. But again, he's an important player, and you hope that he can make it back.
Right. Well, listen, Matt, you've been fabulous, and thank you for being generous with your time this morning. And let's talk again. And I know, game on. I know this is a very busy time for you, but I'd love to talk again. And maybe in the middle of the season, we can revisit and see what's happening, anything new going on. But I value your friendship. I value what you do. You're very professional. You do a great job. And going to the Colts game this past Sunday, everybody, I want to say the whole team, and I'm talking about from the person that checks you in to everyone. You guys are top notch. Everybody behind the scenes, you guys Hoosier hospitality shines through. Yeah. So
right. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much, and it'll be my pleasure to come back on. You just call me anytime.
All right. Thank you. All right. Have a great weekend. All right. We'll see you.
I appreciate you guys too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye, Matt. right, Matt Taylor, the voice of the Indianapolis Colts there. Pretty cool.
I am so excited for the Colts season.
I
Ready
know.
to start. Let's go.
Let's do this. Let's do this, right? Well, we'll have more tickets we'll be giving away throughout the season, and it's funny because there's some there's some big games too. You know, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, it will be exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's pray they win the first game.
There you go.
Right?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes.
You talk about a party.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because whenever they start celebrating, all of these, the confetti just starts flying. You know.
Yeah.
So confetti in your hair, which I ain't even mad.
No.
No, not
You'd
even
be mad when you're
Not
celebrating
even
like
mad.
that.
Not even mad.
Wow.
Definitely not. Definitely not. All right, so Holly, we're gonna go back. We put in a pin, and we were talking about the National Roller Coaster Day, and so you were left off. You were coming out of the seat.
So we're at the top of the roller coaster, getting ready to come down, and of course Dad's friend, whose name is Bear.
Boy, I love that, Bear. So
Bear was his name.
First roller coaster with Bear.
With Bear, and he's bear hugging me,
I love that.
holding me into the seat,
Love
and
that.
as we go down, like I'm just non-stop screaming. I can feel myself not sitting on the seat anymore, and so that kind of did it in for me for roller coasters. So I would do like the little Beast or whatever that they had at that time and stuff, and that what the small kiddie roller coasters I'm fine with.
Yeah.
But the big ones, no. Now my mom loves them, but not me. Nope.
Okay.
Not a thrill seeker in that regard.
I am. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
them. I like let's go over to Holiday World, the Thunderbird. Am I right? Yeah, Thunderbird. Yeah. The Voyage, the Legend, every one of them. Love them.
I love watching them, and I like when my kids get on them. I love watching them on it, but I'm also a little scared, because of my own internal fears or whatever. But
sure.
I love watching them, and I love the excitement and the vibes of a theme park, and Holiday World, like that to me is the best. There's a lot of kudos that goes out to them for all that they do.
They do, yeah. And I do like the racer though at Kings Island. That was always one of my favorite too. But yeah, I love a good roller coaster. And I was thinking, at I don't know what's going on with me, this blankness.
In Holiday World, when I was a kid, was Santa Claus Land.
Right. Yeah.
Like I probably to this day will still call it
that
on
from
vacation,
time to time.
because that's what I grew up with when we go there,
Right.
And get your picture with Santa.
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
Fun
yeah.
times.
And he still makes appearance. He has story time.
Yeah.
So you can still see Santa.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you have explaining to do, Santa.
Sorry, Santa.
Before December, got to get all this in. But I'm just thinking, Disney, you've got all those roller coasters, and just rode the Tiana ride, which is new, and it's a water ride, but it's fun, and it's really different. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's got some really cool.
Well, I'll have to get a list from you for my daughter.
Okay.
To ride the ride, because we're going down in October to get the silver award, and my daughter's going with me, and so she'll be. I think we're going to try to take a day trip there, and she'll want to ride the big rides.
Well, you have Tron, which is fantastic. You ride a motorcycle; it's so much fun. And then you have the Guardian of the Galaxy. These are just fun. They're just.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
Guardian of the Galaxy.
Well, yeah, you love the ride then too. And so, then of course, at Universal you have the Hulk ride, which is fun. There's so many different. Anyway, yeah, I love it all. So it's fun. Yeah. Definitely. All right, so National Roller Coaster Day, which I feel like every day I'm on a roller coaster day. Do you feel that way?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
We're always thrill seekers every day,
I have my own roller coaster every day.
Holly, lock in. You know what I mean? I do
That's
that
right.
all the time. Just put the seatbelt on, make sure that it's tight, and put that bar down, and let's go. Let's do this.
Let's
right?
go.
And it's funny, National Rum Day. That's what we got to get some rum in you, and then we can get you on a roller coaster.
That's right.
That's what I need to do.
Let's try that. That may be the answer there.
Yeah. National Tell a Joke Day.
I'm not a good joke teller.
Oh, I'm the worst, but I love them. I love them, and I always I get the gist of it, but that's all I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then when I tell it, I know it's gonna. I hope they get the end.
Yeah.
You get the gist of it. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I love people that tell jokes.
Yes.
True Love Forever Day.
Oh,
Isn't that lovely?
that's a good one.
So cute. So those are some holidays. Get out and enjoy for sure. All right, we're getting some rain here, and I want to remind everybody that there's also lightning, thunder, and all of that. So please be careful out there.
Be careful.
Yeah. So,
It
Holly,
looks like it's clearing out, though.
I hope you didn't plan on going going camping this weekend, did you?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
No,
there you
ma'am.
go. All right, good. Well, there's a lot going on this weekend. Of course, the Colts game, the Indianapolis State Fair wraps up, and went there and had way too much food, but good food. But
But the Kentucky Fair started yesterday, didn't it, or something?
The Kentucky State Fair starts. Yeah, you got all around it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Also, then the Saturday up in Chicago, the Blues Festival. They're going to be doing the blues up there at the Juliet Prison, which
I've never really been to Chicago.
it's really cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I've been to the VA hospital, and that's it for Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I had an aunt that lived there, and actually, a cool thing to do for Hoosiers is you can actually park in Indiana, and you can take a train into Chicago,
Oh.
and that's kind of fun, and that'd be something fun for you to do. And
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's like an hour and a half. Time went by fast, because
Mhm.
but it's kind of cool for anybody that likes to ride a train.
Mhm.
And it'll take you right into the city, and then it'll take you right. You can,
And then how do you get around when you're in the city?
well, that would be either walking, which I like to walk because you
Mhm.
kind of see things,
Mhm.
or if you wanted to take an Uber or a taxi, you could,
Okay.
if there was something you wanted to go to, what I mean,
Right.
from that spot. But
Mhm.
most of it, a lot of it was like downtown walking,
Mhm.
so you kind of got the area.
Mhm.
There's a sculpture is called the Bean. You got to go to that. It's
Mhm.
really pretty cool. They were, I think it was under construction. I don't know if it's fixed now or what. They were doing something to it, so
Mhm. Hmm.
I don't know enough about it. But it's fun. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a big city. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. The big city.
It's the big city. It's a windy city. Yeah. Remember Calamity Jane?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. But they ain't got what we got. Yeah. I just went blank. Oh, the windy city is mighty pretty, but it ain't got what we got. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You
Uh,
go, girl.
I love. Well, of course now that I love Calamity Jane. Yeah. Doris Day. Love Doris Day.
Mhm,
So.
mhm.
All right. So this is kind of cool. Scrabble is adding more slang terms to their list.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. So the official Scrabble dictionary is adding a bunch of new words. The one that is official, one of the official dictionaries is, and it looks like most of the Americans use the Webster dictionary when you play Scrabble. Well, there's also a Collins dictionary that has one used by the English-speaking countries. Some international competitors combine them. Collins just announced they're adding 2,000 new words, including the word Gen Z.
Oh. Oh. Granny and I, that was one of our favorite pastimes together that I used to love doing with her, was playing Scrabble.
Uh-huh.
Drinking our tea, playing Scrabble, watching the birds outside eat their feed and stuff. And Granny used to have a Scrabble dictionary because she was
Oh my gosh, how cute is that?
a great Scrabble player.
Aw.
I was not, okay?
Right. Well, yeah, but
I know English language
she
is
had
my first
patience.
language, but she had the patience of Job
Yeah.
with me. And so I'd be like, Granny, I don't know what word. And she's like, use the dictionary. And so I was using the dictionary too much, right? For every word I was using the dictionary. And she's like, now let's try it without the dictionary this time.
Aw.
Granny had the patience of Job.
Yeah.
Love that.
She was
woman.
actually teaching you, and you were learning, and you didn't even know it.
Exactly.
Love
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that's pretty
I
special.
miss her. Miss her.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. One of the words is yeet. Y-E-E-T. Yeet. Is that right? It's meaning to throw, but also used to express excitement.
Yeet! I'm yeeting.
Do that to your team today.
Yeah.
Do that. Go to Salem Crossing and do that.
Go in there and squeak. Eat.
If I hear that coming through the hallway, I can't even imagine. Everybody would have to come around you to find out.
I know.
You know that, right?
I know.
Right?
Oh, before I forget,
Oh,
Becky.
Yes,
before I
love to
forget,
hear this.
We decided this week we're planning again, once again, a chili cook-off at Salem Crossing.
No way.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
That means yes.
I think
yes.
it's going to be around October 3rd.
Please let me judge.
Absolutely.
I beg to judge.
I welcome you.
I will
welcome
pay
you.
to judge.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will work for food, work for chili.
And we're going to ask families. Because we're inviting, obviously, all of our families and residents.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask families if they want to compete in the competition this year as well. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Competition is
I'm
on.
excited. It's like,
Are you nervous as a competitor?
I'm not nervous as a competitor. I'll probably be more so then. But I'm more nervous because, like, this is post-COVID, our first big function that we've had post-COVID.
Right,
so
right.
I'm more nervous for that because it's like getting back in the flow of, you know, but I'm a very competitive person.
I know you are.
Very.
And especially when you're talking food and cooking and all of that. That's when Holly really Yeah.
So
you kind of like
maybe
you gotta like fluff up your chest or your feathers, like.
Maybe I won't enter it this year.
Whoa, hello.
Maybe I'll just let others, you know,
Look
so I
at
don't
you.
have the competing side to me.
Might be.
It is. I don't know.
Woo,
Look, that was big to say.
Your eyes are moving left to right, left to right.
I
right now. I know. Decisions. Oh my goodness.
Oh, I don't know.
You could play this in so many ways.
I know, right?
You know? Yeah. I mean, it would be less stress not to do it.
It would.
But then you might be mad that you didn't, or not mad, but be kind of disappointed. Oh, I should have done it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So I don't know yet. I'm just
well,
excited we're doing it again.
Oh, I am too.
I'm just excited we're doing it. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to raise my hand to be a judge again.
I would. I'd appreciate that if you would.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's a banner day.
Absolutely.
We'll get here soon enough. Yeah, and there's so many, you know, and everybody fixes chili different.
Oh,
so
yes.
It's like every time you take a bite, it's all new.
Absolutely.
New.
Absolutely.
Love that. Yeah.
I like trying.
And then whenever there's like those like there's a kind of like a tie and you really have to eat a lot more. Let me figure this out. Becky, you've ate half the bowl. I'm still working on it. Okay?
Figuring it out.
Figuring it out.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I love that. Yay. Well, that's going to be. We're looking at the date October the 3rd.
I think it's October the 3rd. What we had in
our brain
this week.
Set that your calendar. And anyway.
And of course we'll send invites out to the families so they don't have to remember the date.
And families, you know, that's so cool. And then here's what's so wonderful. When you fellowship the families and you bring everybody together, there's so many cool things about that. Is then whenever your loved one is talking about somebody there, you know, you'll know the names. You'll get to meet, you know, who they hang out with. You know what I mean? Who do they play Scrabble with? Who do they play checkers with? Who do they go, you know, to maybe hang out with, or what they do, or lunch with, you know, and it's everybody kind of blending and making and meeting. It's a good networking of everybody.
Has always in the past been a great time for fellowship, and to see everybody together and the smiles and the sharing of stories and just being with each other. The fellowship is amazing.
You know, maybe, you know, like if there, you know, someone, you know, talks about someone's name, you heir that name all the time. Holly Thompson, I hear that all the time. I hear her words going on. You know. They'll need to meet you. Oh, yeah. I'm sure they hear about Holly. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
No, but your activities director, all the, you know, I'm sure that like that, from your staff, from the, you know, from the rock stars, everybody's a rock star in the building, to the dietitians, to the laundry, everybody, you know, I mean, everybody's got a huge role, and everybody is so, everybody's so important, and it's cool to bring everybody together.
It's what makes that wheel go round.
Absolutely.
If there's one missing, the wheel's off.
I know. True. So for sure. Okay, real quick, a few more words that are added to Scrabble.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry. Bougie.
Bougie.
No,
I like bougie.
Bougie. Floof.
Floof?
Floof. It's a slang for a furry animal.
Never heard that one.
Okay. Stan.
Stan? Like S-T-A-N?
Yep. To obsess over someone who's famous.
Never heard of that one either.
And Gramble. Something worthy of being posted on Instagram. Gramble. So those are just a few. You can look up. They've got a lot more. Yeah, they've added. There we go.
Interesting.
Now we can sleep. What would Grandma think about that?
What would she think about that? She'd be
she'd probably be excited. No, she probably. I'm going to guess that she was like one of those that likes good challenges.
Oh, yes.
And likes to learn. And I'm going to guess that she. I'm going to guess that she would be.
She was a nurse here for Washington County Hospital. She was a nurse.
Could she be any cooler?
She
How
was
wonderful.
a delivery room nurse.
Oh my goodness! Think
Yes.
of that. Oh.
Yes, she was a delivery room nurse, and I mean, I'm pretty sure she did a bunch of everything. And then she worked for was it Dr. Apple?
Probably.
Am I remembering
yeah,
the right
maybe
doctor?
Dr. Apple. Yeah, he
she
delivered
was,
most
she
of
was
Washington
Dr.
County.
Apple's
Yeah.
nurse.
Yeah, that's cool. Now that's really cool.
Yeah.
I think the things that, like, when having 6 daughters, those nurses, when you're in labor, like, they're your best friends. You know what I mean? They're your ones. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're just like solid because they're with you. The whole time. You know what I mean? And I just nothing like that. So what a special woman she was.
I used to love hearing her story. And of course, she, I didn't meet Granny until she was 80 years old when I came into her life.
Oh wow.
When my mom got with my stepdad. And she was 80 years old. She told me she wanted to make it to 100. She passed away like within a month after her 100th birthday.
Oh, this is so
But
cool.
she was, because I was in my early 20s, and going to college when I'd visit her, and she literally was my best friend. I used to tell everybody when I'd take her different places, and I said, this is my 80-year-old best friend. She's my granny. Love that woman. But I used to love hearing the stories about the hospital and everything, and the babies that she delivered, and just everything. I just loved it.
Well, a couple of things. I know we got to go, but a couple of things about that. Okay, well, first of all, probably back then, the husbands or the daddies were not allowed to come in.
Right.
So you really did depend on that nurse. Yes, for sure. So what a huge role. What a huge heart.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then I love, and this is a life lesson, never stop learning, never stop reading, never stop, always keep working your mind.
Yes.
Always challenge your mind, always keep working. At 80 years old, still going strong, that's above and beyond.
She was still planting a full garden at 90.
Love that.
Full garden.
Love that. Love that.
Never seen, never seen a person do what she did with her life and all the things, and such an encouragement for me, and a role model, a significant role model for me.
Tough act to follow.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
My dad was huge on that, making sure you always keep working your mind, keep that mind going at all times. Yeah, so that's good. So that's a good takeaway for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for sharing that, Holly. Appreciate that for sure. And I would love to have met her. I wish I would have met her, but I like hearing stories about her.
Love my granny.
Love that. All right, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Mama Roses, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Dr. Black's Eye Associates, Dr. Mindy Gunn, and McAllister Land Consulting. Thank you all very much.
All right, let's have the best day ever, Holly.
Yay!
If it's the first Tuesday of the month,